You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Brian White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother Dave White. Hey, Dave, how you doing over there?
Oh, thank you for asking. I'm okay. You know, it occurred to me today. Here we are, end of Pride Month. I am a homosexual, and I have done almost nothing. Nothing to celebrate Pride Month. Done these episodes. Went to see Sleepaway Camp.
Okay,
that's about it.
Huh? I mean, do you get out there and boogie down on the streets and?
No, I don't. I'm not a big group person. Like big, large groups of people make me nervous.
Get out there in the street, just do jazz hands for 3 hours,
just high kicking down the street. No, but there's a lot going on, and I kept meaning to there was a bunch of book stuff and book fairs and shit, and I was like, I should go to those. And every day, by the time I finished doing all the other shit I needed to do, I'm like, I am exhausted. I just want to watch Italian dudes rip each other apart.
Okay, I mean, it's fair. Fair. Life's tough. It's busy. You got a lot of shit going on. You get done with it. Sometimes you just want to watch people eviscerate one another.
I mean, I did move to Canada. That's pretty gay.
That's also, they'll take it out of you, man. That was right at the beginning of the month. This the coincidence of moving to an entirely different country and Pride, that makes it tough. I think you did it. I think you did it was a job well done over here this month.
I do my best.
Yeah, we're closing it out. We had some real deep cuts. There were some real lively discussions. We had a great guest. When Sean came on to do a fucking movie, I was the last thing that I ever expected to be as interesting as it was.
Yeah, branch out, y'all. Watch some of these melodramas. I pick old stuff and weird stuff, mostly because I know people aren't going to talk much about them, but also because, it's fun to talk about, queer horror and all this stuff. But honestly, what I think most people want, I can't speak for all gay people, obviously, but going into this, what I used to look for as a young person was actual representation, not goofy horror, not fucking drag queens, in slasher movies. Those are fun. Great. John Waters, great. All this stuff, really fun. But you really just want to see normal people living their normal lives. Cause it's hey, normal stuff. That's really what we're all wanting to see. That's what we're aiming for mostly. And so to see, we never see that very often. And then those movies just kind of get forgotten about, Making Love, Winter Kept Us Warm. These are just movies about, people just sort of living their lives and sort of trying to navigate this world. And I think those movies are worth talking about.
Yeah. And sometimes you want to watch a sailor light a man's cigarette with a burning bundle of sticks.
Well, sometimes, all the time.
Nah, it was a good series. This year was a real good one. And we had some we experimented with the sort of short film format.
Tricky.
Which was tricky, but I think we pulled it off.
Okay.
For the most part. I think it was good. It was great. It was a great series this year. And this time, we were just talking about before we hit record, but this one that we're doing tonight I was puzzled at first.
Coming out of left field.
Because I was watching this and I was like, there's nothing overt.
No.
In this and the subtext, if there's any at all, is way deep down. So I suppose we're gonna get there. But eventually, you said just stick with it. You'll see it. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is a lot of this stuff, it wasn't overt. And I don't think this movie is intentionally queer in any way. I think it just can be read that way and probably was read that way. But that's the whole point is that when queer people went to the movies, they didn't go expecting to see themselves on the screen because they were never going to. And if they did, it was always in a really negative light.
Yeah.
And so you had to look elsewhere. You had to dig deep. And so, like I said before, it's not about just going and seeing divine on screen. It's sometimes you just got to look for yourself and find yourself elsewhere. And this is one of those movies, I think. I think Cat People is a sort of a similar.
Yeah. Dracula's Daughter.
Yep. That one's a little bit more overt.
I was going to say, I find so far I'm finding that all the ones that we've done that have been lesbian coded are always about like the suffering of a woman attracted to women, the doom and gloom of it all. And I'd see in that light, this movie's got a little of that for sure.
Well, that's what most movies that involved any gay characters, coded or otherwise, they had to suffer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was in the Hays Code. It's
yes, quite literally.
Yeah. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We get some shit to get out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah, because we practically grew up in neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage that those shops provided us with continues unabated to this day. And there's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod. Dave's over there at that Queer Wolf. Seek us out. Give us a follow. It's fun. It's fun. There's art and there's memes and there's all the latest shit that we get up to because we get a lot of irons in the fire, and that's kind of where it's all kind of orchestrated and organized.
Yeah, I've been all about street art lately.
Yeah, there's a lot going on up where you're at. Yeah,
indeed.
A little bit more into that shit than down in old Boston town.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you don't know, we have another show called 99 Cent Rental where we cover all manner of video store madness in the weeks that Bring Me the Axes off. Our latest episode covering a roundup of pre-Stonewall queer shorts is out now. We'll be back next week with one of Dave's favorite movies.
Yes!
Dirty Dancing.
Woohoo!
And God willing, we're going to have a great guest. I sent the email to confirm. I have not received anything back yet.
Okay.
Yeah. You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love and would like to hear us give it the business. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there at patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. All paying members get ad-free episodes. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod, Do You Think I'm Spooky? The latest episode is a look, season 2 episode, Humbug. There's also, it's a fucking fantastic episode. Series best. It's also our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition, which is a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. The current episode is a look at Knife plus Heart.
Knife in the Heart.
Knife in the Heart. French, little French. It's sexy. It's very gay.
It's very sexy.
You're going to love it.
The French are an amorous people.
Famously sexy people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels like voice and video chat and the watch parties option. Drop in on a Friday night, watch Monday's movie with other listeners and myself. Mm-hmm. It's fun. We watched this one. It was a good time.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yep. And once again, patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcasts that way. And you'll be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So takes but a moment. Spare us a moment of your time. Boost the show a little bit. Number go up. It makes me happy.
And if you accuse us of using AI to create our logo,
I will
dox your whole family.
I will come to your house and personally demonstrate how wrong you are.
I paid a very nice lady in England to make that for us.
It's a great logo. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, and if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor, give the episode a like and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Get all that out of the way right at the top of the show so we can hit you with a little taste. Here's a little taste of what we're talking about tonight.
Hey, you want to drive, huh? Rev it up.
Action you've never seen races across your screen as you thrill to a new dimension in picture making. Carnival of Souls. This is the shocking story of a who crawled from the river to race through a nightmare, walking a tightrope between heaven and hell. From the unreal, she crashes through to reality. But try as she will to lead a normal life, she is torn from her goal. There's no privacy in a life she's ever watched, tormented. Either it's her neighbor, desirous of her physically, watching her with his leering eye, or it's the evil eye of the man who taunts her, the man who wants her. From the bottom of the river they come. They reach for her. They demand that she dance with them at the Carnival of Souls. She is a girl driven mad by the relentless forces of the beyond. He will not relent as he comes for her again and again. She whirls between the real and the unreal, trying to cling to life.
I like being with you, really I do. I don't want to be alone tonight. I want to be near you.
Honey, you don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you?
But she must watch herself in death. She must dance at the Carnival of Souls held just for her. For they have come for her for the last time, claiming her as one of their own. Carnival of Souls arouses such emotion that the management has been forced to state positively no refunds. Carnival of Souls is the shocker of all time, guaranteed to sweep you into a new dimension of picture making. You can't afford to miss Carnival of Souls.
Carnival of Souls! Carnival of Souls! If you hate this movie and walk out halfway through, you can't get your money back.
It's a new dimension in picture making.
I feel like the trailer's sort of overselling it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like a horror movies in the early '60s. Is like they gotta pull you in, man. Like they gotta really, really sell you a movie you're not gonna get. That's
what happens.
Action as it races across your screen. I was like, this movie's pace I would describe as laconic.
Glacial.
I don't know if it's that slow, but this is a movie that certainly takes its time.
Weary.
Yeah. This is a fucking great movie.
It is.
Holy shit. I really, really love this movie.
I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and you end with more questions than you started with. But
I don't mind. Like
none of it's important.
Like as I was kind of writing this all out and trying to kind of come at an angle with this one, I was like, what is my read on this one? What is my interpretation? Like we did with the David Lynch movies. Like, what is this movie really about? What is really happening here? And when I got to the end, I was like, I don't fucking know.
No.
And I was fine with that.
No. Herk Harvey will tell you what it's about pretty explicitly in just a bit, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's moody. Mm-hmm. It's very, very, very spooky. Herk Harvey cites some pretty highfalutin influences.
Yeah.
Ingmar
Sure
Bergman
does.
and Jean Cocteau. I can see that, but he's doing it. He's more George Romero.
Yeah.
Than,
he's imitating rather than being influenced by. He doesn't quite understand why either of them do what they do, but he's going to fake it till he makes it.
Yeah. And it works.
Yeah.
It works. Like he pulls it out. So yeah, let's just get in on this. Get in on this shit. So here's some facts about this here movie, Carnival of Souls. The year was 1962.
America was great.
Year of our Lord. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Nope. And then so here's some other movies that were released in the year of 1962. The awful Dr. Orloff came out that year.
Not a good movie.
I actually disagree with that. I think that
Really?
Of the Jess Franco movies, it's an early one. He's got a real budget, and it's okay. It is a perfectly
it's better than his weird sex movies.
It is a perfectly watchable movie, and he is going to remake this movie about 100 fucking times.
Yup.
Yeah. Also in 62, The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock.
I like that. I like that movie.
Similar title, no relation, way more necrophilia than you're probably anticipating.
Is that Aldo Lados that who made that?
Yeah.
Great. It's a great
Was
movie.
it Vinegar Syndrome put that out a couple of years ago, I think?
They put the full, yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty good movie. I enjoy it. It's moody. It's got like Corman's sort of Edgar Allan Poe overtures about it, but it is so European and it hits you with the forbidden.
I think that's the only horror movie he ever made.
Probably. Yeah. Also in 62, The Brain That Wouldn't Die came out that year.
Goofy.
Very, very silly movie. Very silly movie. We also had Tales of Terror,
Love it.
which is an all-timer. We got Corman, Matheson, Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Basil Rathbone.
It's a very funny one.
Yeah. That's
There's a song that one of the characters sings in it that we sing around my house quite often.
And rounding out 62, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
A classic, if there
A
ever
classic,
was one.
which we did a little ways back.
I was just going to say, we should do that one.
Yeah, we should. Oh,
guess-
shit, we already have.
I guess we've gotten to that point.
Yep. So our cast and crew, just a couple
Nobody.
of people, just a couple of people to talk about here. We had a director named Herk Harvey.
Harold? Harold Harvey? Is that his name?
Harold Harvey is his real name, but Herk is what he is credited as. He was a director with the Centron Corporation, located in Lawrence, Kansas. Beginning in the 1950s, he became the primary director for that company, directed dozens of high-quality industrial and educational films. And in spite of the fact that Centron was known for producing some of the highest quality shorts of their type in the United States at the time, 5 shorts by or featuring Herk Harvey as an actor or director still appeared on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, he made one. The title is To Touch a Child. And let me read you the premise of
Don't
To Touch
do
a
it.
Child.
Don't do it. To Touch a Child, parenthetical title, don't do it.
Cook School in Flint, Michigan is in trouble. All the students are getting killed, arrested, yelled at, and injured because after-school activity facilities are always closed. Finally, the school wises up, and soon there is no more chaos. I love that it goes from getting killed, and then it ramps down to getting yelled at. Look, if you start at 10, there's nowhere to go.
No, you got to gently ease into the true horrors of adolescence, getting yelled at.
I mean, it basically sounds like the premise of that movie Over the Edge.
Yeah, it kind of does. He also directed one called Shake Hands with Danger.
Yes, these are so good.
Prior to working for Centron, he taught acting and film at University of Kansas, and the storytelling bug was very much in him. Lawrence, Kansas wasn't really the spot for that kind of filmmaking, but he made a run at it anyways, and this is the result of that drive. Unfortunately, the movie was purely regional until later in the 1960s when WOR aired it as part of their late show fairly regularly, that it gained a cult following. And then, discouraged by the total lack of interest in Carnival of Souls, Harvey just kind of went back to his regular job and made occasional but ill-fated attempts to produce feature films with Centron. In a strange adjacency, this is actually Herk Harvey's second appearance on the podcast.
Really?
His first...
Wait, did we do Shake Hands with Danger?
No, his first was a small speaking role in The Day After.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, they shot it in Lawrence, Kansas.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's It's that scene where all the farmers get together to sort of discuss how they're going to like start growing food again. Mm-hmm. He's one of the farmers who's like, "How do you propose we actually do this?"
Wow, what a deep cut.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that in his like thing. It was like actor The Day After, and I was like, hold on, I had to go look for it. Sure enough, there he was. His nose is very distinct, and so he really stood out from the crowd.
Yeah, he has a look. He's not unattractive. He just has a look.
Yeah, that makeup that he wears in this movie really fucking works. Because also he plays the man. This is what that character is called in this one. He's the sort of ghoulish character that follows Mary around. Speaking of Mary, here's Candice Hilligoss. She's an actor who had real promise, being her first role out of school, which included the Lee Strasberg Institute, Barbizon Modeling School.
Oh.
Yeah.
Barbizon. I remember those.
I remember those ads. Yeah, you get become a model. Go to Barbizon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She took this on thinking it'd be a quick thing, and it certainly did turn out to be that sort of thing, but she completely underestimated this role. It's the role of a lifetime, and if you're going to be remembered for one thing, and it's this one, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, she turned down a role in Violent Midnight to be in this. You ever seen Violent Midnight?
I have not.
I have. It's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, but then, according to her extremely bitter autobiography, she put everything on hold and married an actor with none of the promise that she had, propped him up, watched him go nowhere, and then lost years to a guy who cheated on her.
Wow.
She's not without other parts, though. Following this one, she had a small part in a B picture called The Curse of the Living Corpse, and she did a guest spot on Quincy.
You know who loves Quincy? M.E.?
You?
I do. I'm a big fan.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Klugman.
The one and only. There's other people in this movie, and they have done nothing but like other kind of regional stuff. Like most of them were people who appeared in other films for Centron. You know,
It's a reach.
yeah. But there's a couple of taglines. Here's one. A story so unusual it will burn itself into your mind. A weird tale of the unnatural. A picture that will haunt you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will haunt you. and then we got another one. A new wave picture you cannot forget. A sensation about a new dimension.
Huh. Now, you think that new dimension was trying to call up anything?
Perhaps a
A
dimension
new dimension in
of
terror?
moving through into a new dimension of sight,
Oh,
and sound, and imagination, perhaps.
Yeah, that's the signpost up ahead. Herk Harvey fucking loved the Twilight Zone, I can tell you that much.
So much that he was like, you know what? Fuck it. That episode, The Hitchhiker, let's just make a whole fucking movie out of that.
That's real good.
So Harvey's idea for a movie came when driving past the Saltaire Pavilion, which is featured...
A place that is real eerie.
It's... Yeah, like you could tell, like there are those shots early on when she's driving across, into Salt Lake, and it's distant on the horizon, and it's just backlit by the setting sun. Like you could tell that is what he saw as he was driving along.
And there's
those roads.
nothing else out there. So it was originally it was like a tourist kind of bathhouse, like a destination retreat for
Built
wealthier people.
By the LDS Church.
Oh, of course. I mean, everything in Salt Lake City, I think, was built by the LDS Church.
Yeah.
And it was massive. Then it got bought, I think, in like the, 30s or 40s or something, and got turned into an amusement park. And then it just sort of fell into disrepair. And that's what we see.
Well,
then it burned down.
Several times, in fact.
Yeah.
Extended over the lake on moorings because it is quite literally on the Great Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And it quickly gained a reputation as a popular entertainment spot in the style of Coney Island and Atlantic City, only, very Mormon. Then disaster struck in 1925 when the pavilion caught fire. They rebuilt it, and then disaster struck again in 1931 with another fire. And then again 2 years later when a severe drought struck the area and the fucking Great Salt Lake receded by a fucking half a mile.
Damn.
Yeah. So when that happened, it just sort of left this pavilion in the middle of just muck and flies. Like that was
just in a big sand pit.
Yeah.
A big damp sand pit.
And then the resort limped along, a shadow of its former self, faced competition from similar attractions that didn't require visitors to travel out to the middle of fucking nowhere, Utah, and it closed. And there were many attempts to reopen the pavilion, as there were also arson incidents.
No.
There was like 3 more incidents of people trying and succeeding to set it on fire. And then
stop making it out of wood.
Try concrete. Real serious curse can't keep it down. However, the pavilion is open currently and has been since 2005 as a concert venue. Looking at the current schedule, seems like it's a popular desert spot for EDM festivals.
Interesting.
Yeah. So everybody goes to Utah for EDM. They take a lot of drugs in the most drugless state in the country.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, it's weird. But you can also tell that this place lies heavily in the imagination of people who drive by it, in the same way that the hospital, the Danvers State Hospital, inspired Brad Anderson to make Session 9. In this movie, it is this massive structure in the middle of nowhere, dead but not rotting, simply unoccupied. In a lot of ways, it's a metaphor for Mary's character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing.
It's it is a bizarre. You can tell that he drove past it and was like, "Hey, that should be in a movie," because there's no reason for it to be in this movie other than it looks cool.
Yeah, because like he was doing it basically like on a trip back home to Kansas from California. He drove past it and was like, fuck. And then he went back like sometime later and actually like drove up to it and walked around inside of it and had a look around. And he got to the spot, the dance hall, which is massive. It was for a time, it was like the largest dance hall in the country, like something like it could support like 2,000 people or something like that. It was very, very.
Oh, they should build a ballroom there.
Yeah. Just out of wood, balsa wood even.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he kind of came up with this idea where it was like, he sees ghouls like dancing in this place. And so, yeah, he went back, found his friend John Clifford at Centron,
ripped off two very famous stories, made a movie.
Let's make a movie. I want a scene where a bunch of ghouls dance in the pavilion. And then whatever else happened in the movie was up to writer John Clifford. And
who literally just rips off The Hitchhiker and Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge.
yes, indeed. Yeah, but it's a pretty fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Yep. And then so they make this movie. The production is what it is. They do it on something like $30,000, which is I think like $300,000 today. And then
it ended up being $33,000.
All right, yeah. And then the same shit that struck copyright status in Night of the Living Dead hit this movie as well because the releasing company failed to put a copyright notice on the title, so the movie went directly into the public domain. And then laws around copyright changed in the 80s, which led to Harvey and his co-writer, John Clifford, securing copyright of the movie, the original script as well. And a couple of years later, the movie saw a small theatrical re-release and an accompanying release on VHS that brought the movie back to public consciousness.
It's actually a little more complicated than that. What ends up happening is the copyright doesn't revert to him. They're able to copyright a version of the movie, but sort of like with Night of the Living Dead, there's already so many versions of it that other ones are still considered in the public domain.
Because there's a bunch of different cuts of this movie. Like there's, I think the one that is the copyrighted version is considered the director's cut. I think it's 84 minutes long. It's the one that's
the Criterion one.
It's the one that's on Criterion, but there are versions that are as short as like 78 minutes that were like chopped up by drive-in theater owners in order to sort of like get more screenings in and stuff like that. There's a version that's like 81 minutes.
They revive it in or someone like kind of finds a decent print of it in the late 80s, restores it, and then starts showing it. And they start doing like festival stuff. And Herk Harvey and some of the other people in the movie go to these. They do like events and stuff, but he still doesn't get any money for it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That fucking
real
sucks.
Shitty.
Yeah. There was a law. There's a law I think that came around in the 80s. I can't remember. Cohen Act maybe is what it was called, but it was what sort of allowed so much bootleg video trading. Like what I was doing in the 90s was because like if you were trading versions of the movies that were not the copyrighted versions in the United States, it was all good. And so like there are all these companies like Video Search of Miami and Revic Film Prodigies and companies like that who would just like sell bootleg versions of like European releases of these movies, and it was all good.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whatever that there's that or copyright law that's like if the person who holds the copyright has no intention of making this commercial product available to the public again, you can actually just put it out.
Nice.
It's very strange. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And then around the same time, David Lynch cited Carnival of Souls as having a significant impact on his own movies, and specifically for that time, Twin Peaks. I definitely remember when this came back because like all of a sudden, like everybody was like, Carnival of Souls is out. And I'm like, the fuck is this? And then a guy rented it and watched it and was like, well, that was boring.
Mm-hmm.
Took me years to properly appreciate this one.
Yeah, it's more of a vibe than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's got a lot going on to make it a very interesting movie. Like its music, for instance.
very bold choice to do an entire film score that is just the church organ.
It's terrifying.
It's a lot.
It's a scary goddamn soundtrack by a man named Gene Moore, who's another one of these guys that just like Centron made the music for Centron.
That's a complicated instrument too.
It is. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I tried to do like spooky theme music for like our show at one time with like organ plugins. Could not make it sound good.
Nah, it wouldn't. It's better the way it is.
It's fucking terrifying. And then there is an in-name only remake from 1998 by Adam Grossman, who is known for nothing but the sequels to Sometimes They Come Back, a movie that most people fucking forgot about in the first place. With Shawnee Smith. I've seen it, but I remember absolutely nothing about it except that Shawnee Smith is in it.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I watched it on drugs, which is probably why I don't remember it. Or either that or it's just boring.
I watch a lot of things on drugs. Candice Hilligoss wrote a sequel to this movie.
Yeah, which I think was was kind of like the inciting event for the remake, and they just kind of like took bits and pieces of her script.
Like, how are you going to make a sequel? You're dead.
Yeah.
The character is dead.
Well,
that's the whole point of the movie.
Maybe she comes back from the grave.
Sometimes they come back.
Sometimes they come back again. But yeah. Fucking A. I mean, there's just it's one of those things. They were like, hey, let's make a movie. Let's make Lawrence, Kansas the new Hollywood. And
I love when people just decide they're gonna make a movie, because now you just grab your fucking cell phone and whatever. But like back then, it took more than just a desire. You had to make it work.
Yeah, it involved a lot of money.
Yeah,
you had to do casting. You had to like none of that equipment was available to you. An editing desk was a huge piece of like equipment that you had to go to. God knows you weren't going to afford your own.
Well, and someone had to know how to do it too.
True. Yeah. And it involved like physically cutting up the film.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a lot. It's a big commitment, and I appreciate that commitment.
Yeah.
I think it's admirable.
Yeah. And I think you can get the soundtrack through Waxwork.
You can indeed.
Through the Robert Zombert, the Rob Zombie imprint that they do.
Most of those not very good. That one, pretty good.
Yeah. Do you have it?
I do.
Nice. Reviews? Were there reviews of this year, Phil?
So very, very difficult to find contemporaneous reviews.
I would imagine, yeah.
I did find one.
Okay.
Frank Mulcahy, Los Angeles Times.
Oh, shit. All the way in Los Angeles.
Yep. People all over the world are continually lamenting the fact that they don't build things like they did in the good old days. And if Carnival of Souls must be considered an example of something new, then the familiar cry is all too true. As to the plot, the least said, the better.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he did not like it. He thought it was real stupid.
Yeah. People always be shitting on horror movies.
That's true. But then, 1988, coming back strong, we get the kind of reboot, the revival. And that's where all these are from. This is Stephen Holden, The Old Gray Lady.
The Old Gray Lady, Boston Globe.
That's the New York Globe. Carnival of Souls succeeds in being mildly tingling without the stimulus of decapitations, visceral explosions, and other shock effects that have become staples of the modern horror film. From the opening credits that are slanted across the screen at odd angles, to shots of an entranced Mary playing demented organ music in an empty church, the movie colors everything from a faintly menacing, twisted perspective.
All right, yeah. See, now this is a guy who gets it.
Yep. We got Steve Kerr, Chicago Tribune. Though far from perfect, Carnival of Souls has all the fascination of the unaccountable. Made on a budget of $30,000, it clearly was intended for the drive-in market. Yet with its stark Bergman-esque black and white photography Antonioni-like themes of alienation and disappearance, and an undertone of religious hysteria that suggests Carl Dreyer, it would only seem really at home in the hardest core art houses. Not sure about that.
I don't know about that part, but he's there. Here was he saw He saw what Herk Harvey was going for.
Well, is Carrie Ricky, Philadelphia Inquirer.
2 first names.
Carrie Ricky, Philadelphia. Rarely does a film so superficially diverting manage to be so deeply disturbing. Though it crudely deals with the dead and the undead, as well as fear and desire, Carnival of Souls is a strangely eloquent artifact. While watching the movie, you realize that the images in this movie exert such a profound creepiness because they emanate from the filmmaker's unconscious. Perhaps such an accomplished psycho-chiller can be made only by the pre-psychological types.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
That one liked it too.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one other one. They did not like it.
God damn it.
You may be familiar with their body of work.
The old brown lady.
The old brown lady herself, the IMDb user. And now I would like to point out before I begin, this whole thing is written in capital letters.
Whenever you read these, I imagine that they are, but it's good to have like a genuine one.
This whole thing is. This dog of celluloid is one of the worst ever. It is cliched with characters that have been done to death. Not before this,
It was
they
the
weren't.
first one to get there, you fucking dummy.
The ghosts are beyond laughable, even when you take into perspective the time that this was released. There is nothing scary. It is totally unreal, like when she walks out of the water and is only damp, not dripping wet. The really only horrible thing is that this movie didn't get lost or burned in a fire. Boring and awful. Man.
Oh.
It's so cliche.
It's so cliche. These ghosts are not scary. Hey, I think they're spooky as fuck.
Yeah, except eventually they start to linger on them too long, and it's like, cut away, cut away.
I love the way they.
Looks cheap and stupid. Quick.
Ah, shit. Well, we're gonna dive into this movie right after these messages. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. We open on 3 girls in a car. 2 boys in another car pull up on them and ask if they want to drag, and for reasons I will never understand, the girl at the steering wheel agrees.
Yeah, so first of all, the threat of male violence and intimidation is apparent right out of the gate. Like, we open on patriarchy. But then it's like, why would these dudes roll up on a car full of ladies and be like, hey, you sluts want to drag? And then the girl in the car is like, fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah, she wants to show them how it's done.
She really does.
When the light turns, they haul ass out of there and they take off on the slowest road race you've ever seen.
Yeah,
Boy,
it is a very, very cautious.
They could have sped the film up, you know?
Well, it would have looked too much like Keystone Cops.
I suppose. The girl driving swears she's gonna show them how to drive, while Mary, a passenger, looks at her like, what the fuck are you even doing?
Mary does seem a little skittish.
Trepidatious.
There you go. Apprehensive.
They race along dusty roads and double up across a narrow bridge. The boy's car swerves into them, sending them against the guardrail. Then it falls away, and the car tumbles into the river below, disappearing beneath the gentle current.
It just sort of languidly falls off the bridge.
The boys, having just caused the deaths of 3 women, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, they're like, yo, we need to get out of here. But later on, they're like, the police and everybody shows up. And he's like, hey, it wasn't our fault. It's like, yeah, it absolutely was your fault.
But then we get some really artsy titles against all the shapes of the river and the banks and stuff. It's pretty cool. I do like it.
Yeah, the thing that makes this movie go is the cinematography.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. There's no real story here. It's just sort of this lady who moves through like what turns out to be a day of her life. And that's about it.
Yeah. So a whole bunch of dudes watch from the bridge, remarking that the rescue crews will probably never find her car. Boats drag the river. The 2 racing boys talk to the cops, explaining that, gee whiz, the girls were driving behind them, trying to get around us, and golly, they must have lost control.
they murdered them. They murdered those girls.
Absolutely
They drove them
did.
off a bridge.
The girls were starting to pull ahead, and he was like, no, thank you. Wham.
Yeah. This is a real Ted Kennedy scenario here. I don't know what happened, officer.
With this sand and that current, they may never find them. But what's this? Everybody runs down the bridge a ways as Mary climbs out of the river and stumbles across the embankment, covered in mud.
Now, is she wet? No, she
No.
is just damp, and that ruins the illusion.
Completely ruined. F-. This movie, get the fuck out of here. Everybody runs to her aid. They want to know about the other girls, but she can't remember anything. Jeez.
And then we're led to believe that just day after day, Mary is returning to the scene of the accident and determined to relive her trauma, organ music just blaring away in her head.
Later on, she returns to the bridge and looks over as the search and rescue yokels continue searching. She returns to her car, and we cut to her playing organ in some kind of organ workshop. Everybody listens. Boy, can she play.
Okay, so it's not an organ workshop, but it's not a church? What is it?
It's a place where they make organs.
It's really weird because these people are all just entranced by her.
Yeah, they're all like doing their own thing, like woodworking and working on their own shit, and they stop and they all kind of look up with a nice little smile on their face. Boy, oh, that Mary, she's at it again. Boy, is her organ playing great.
It's really it's tough to constantly say that Mary's playing the organ. Euphemistically speaking. You know.
A wide shot shows us an elaborate pipe organ that occupies the entire room.
It's wild.
It's huge, but those things, they are pretty big, man. Famously large musical instrument.
I mean, it doesn't even sound that good, you know?
Could be the acoustics of the workshop.
Put all that effort into it.
Nah. Along comes some dude who compliments her playing. She asks if this is anything like the organ she'll be playing in Utah. She's apparently a professional church organist.
Very weird.
And he tells her that she'll be great. She's like, hey, man, it's just a job.
I love it. She says, it's just a job for me, which is a really weird thing to say when you're taking a job in a church. And then he tells her to put her soul into it or some shit. And she all but rolls her eyes in disgust. I fucking love Mary.
She seriously, like, watching this, she gave me like big time, like mega Jinx Monsoon vibes.
Yeah, it's very much just like, oh, fine.
She's gonna leave this place and drive straight through to Salt Lake City. She has no time to dilly-dally. The dude leaves her with one last piece of advice. Mary, put your soul into your organ playing. And then he wishes her farewell and says they all look forward to seeing her again next time she's in town. And she turns, coldly telling him, thank you, but I'm never coming back here.
Fucking love Mary.
And he looks after her like, the fuck, lady, as she leaves.
Fine.
Like,
I was just saying goodbye. I was being nice. None of us ever really liked you to
there is
begin
a
with.
lingering shot on this guy's face that's like almost as him going, the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Then we watch her drive. She stops on the dreaded Death Bridge and takes another moment to shiver at the spot where her car went over.
Just drinking it in again. Just reliving that trauma. Last time.
Gotta feel that adrenaline rush again. And she turns on the radio for some tunes as she drives and listens to what sounds like the theme song from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, it was really hard to tell whether the music is diegetic or non-diegetic. Is the organ music playing through the car stereo?
Well, at first it's like and then eventually it like turns into that organ music, but then you see her like changing the channel and shit, but it doesn't change.
And
so she is experiencing the music.
Okay, she's not appropriately responding to that because I'd be like, well, I guess I got to kill myself. It's that or I'm going to be haunted.
Or the rational thought would be, my radio's broken.
So there is Mary's queerness. obviously her disinterest in the church could be read as a result of that. But there's a joylessness to Mary that I think closeted people or people who have been closeted would understand. Like, she's this person who's just like cannot find any joy in her life at all. She's just kind of being dogged by men all the time. And it's like everybody kind of sucks. And just like all the fun has been sucked out of life.
Okay.
I think that's our first sort of insight into her.
It's Comp Het, the motion picture.
Yeah. We'll get to the compulsory heterosexuality is coming up.
So she continues on as night falls and the music turns to a spooky organ piece. She changes the channel, but the music remains the same, this discordant minor key piece.
Also, this driving scene is ripped directly from the Hitchhiker episode of The Twilight Zone.
Okay, actually, what I saw was almost shot for shot the scene of Mary and Crane driving in the desert to the Bates Motel.
Also that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, in the distance against the dusk sky, she sees a large pavilion. In the passenger side window, she sees the face of a ghoulish man staring at her as she drives along, fixed in place against the passing backdrop. It's one of my favorite. Yeah, it's one of my favorite shots in the whole fucking movie.
It's a really cool shot because then he disappears and then the passenger window almost seems to act like a mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a mirror. It's showing this other, but it gives you this feeling of like there's another dimension.
A dimension of sight.
A dimension of sight.
A dimension of mind. A dimension of mind.
But like it gives that feeling that there's two realities. She's in one and there's this other one that's similar but different.
Yeah, because the shot, I think, is that Ingmar Bergman shit, because like the way that the shot is composed is actually really, really cool. It's very smart. Because what it does is it's the side shot of her. She's looking over at the window. The man is there looking in at her with this just kind of slack expression, but her face is also reflected over his in a really, really cool way. Because she looks very, very scared in the shot, but like there it is. There's like the first hint of what's happening here. It's a really fucking cool shot. So frightened, she floors it. But when she looks back, the man is gone. She adjusts her mirror and looks all over the place for him, but sees nothing until she looks ahead on the road and sees him directly in front of her. And she swerves hard and runs off the road into a ditch.
Ah, dang it.
Just can't keep these cars on the road. And when,
Women drivers.
Oh, I tell ya. When she gets her shit together, she stops off at a gas station for a fill-up. As the attendant works on her car, she gets out and asks about the pavilion she saw on the edge of the dry lake bed. Oh, it's been a bunch of things. A fancy bathhouse. The lake went dry. That turned it into a dance hall and then a carnival. And then just sort of died and remains empty. She's probably got a nice, filled her tank up with a nice $2.47.
Yeah, fully leaded gas.
He then directs her to the boarding house where she'll be staying right in Salt Lake City. Why, hey, lady, it's right over there.
And this is a smooth transition from the gas station to the boarding house.
Yeah. So we cut to the boarding house. The landlady shows her around. It's just her and Mr. Linden across the hall. And then she says something.
Mr. Linden's a real fucking creep.
Yeah. But she says something really fucking peculiar here, which I love. Feel free to bathe as much as you like here. I'm not particular.
I wonder. Well, okay. I wonder if this is an attempt to give her some sort of character, like some color.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of dimension to her. But I also wonder if this is a regional thing. Like maybe they experience a lot of droughts there.
I was gonna say, I mean, it could have been something like that, like or like the cost of utilities being what they are, But
it's a very bizarre thing to say because she brings it up again later.
Yeah, she does. So she sees Mrs. Thomas out, locks the door, gets to unpacking her things, but once again she sees the ghoulish visage of the man from the road just outside her window and goes for a closer look, finding no such person there.
I would like a little bit of backstory on Mary, because we know nothing about her. All we know is that she plays the organ.
Yeah.
But... like, was she recruited by a church? Is that thing?
How? Well, that's the thing. Is I was like,
because later he's just like, well, when we heard about you, it's like, what do you mean heard about you?
The organ workshop. They called him up and were like, hey, you know any?
It's like, it's your cousin Marvin. Listen to this.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, sure, I guess so. If it was presented to us as a thing, unless they were just being presumptuous, and we're like, of course the church organists get paid.
And for the most part, that none of that matters. Like, you don't really need to know anything about Mary. None of this shit matters.
Not really.
But it is interesting because he is trying to say something about Mary or about a particular kind of person.
Yeah.
And we don't know is Mary like this because of the accident?
So
is Mary like this just because?
So that is okay. So it is probably a deficiency of writing, but in a certain way, it definitely sort of works in the context of the movie, because the way that I've always kind of interpreted Mary's character, the thing that it keeps coming up, the thing that people keep saying about her is like, you have no soul. You have to put your soul into the music. You have to do and there's so little known about her that she's kind of an empty vessel, which again is keeping with this character who doesn't really remember much about herself that happened after, like, before the accident. We don't know anything. Nothing is elusive. We get no background on her character. She is literally just this kind of body that's up and walking around when it really shouldn't be. And there's nothing inside of her.
And I think that speaks a little bit to the queerness of her. Because again, in a lot of cases, like, closeted people tend to be very secretive people. Obviously, that's kind of the whole thing. And secretive people will not let other people in. So you're you're constantly hypervigilant about your behavior, about your gestures, your mannerisms, your language, everything. And she is sort of that. She's the person who will not let anybody else in. And it's a little vague as to why. And I don't think they ever really have a kind of explanation for why. I think part of it is that she's supposed to be dead. Yeah. Surprise, everybody, spoiler. But there is that sort of read of, like, she keeps everybody out so they don't learn anything about her.
Yeah. And also there's the fact that she is, she's a musician, and, musicians are artists, even people who people who play the music, like, of other people. If you're a performer, you're an artist. And the fact that there's, like, she handles this with such a total lack of passion is something that I think you're supposed to be picking up on as a part of her character.
Yes, because she does repeatedly say, like, it's a job. I'm doing this for a job. But it's also, it is a little strange.
I hate music. I just play it for money.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that where it's like, okay, you're sort of overselling it now, but...
like this scene, for instance. Mm-hmm. The next day, she goes over to the church where the priest shows her to the organ. He looks forward to holding some kind of reception for her, but Mary tells him that she's not interested in such things, and he's like, what the hell, lady? I was only trying to be nice.
He also asks her if she's married.
Oh, this is true, yeah.
And she says, no, I'm living at the boarding house with fucking what's-her-face and that pervert. And the guy's like, well, I guess that'll be okay for now, but, soon you're gonna...
Yeah. Listen, it's gonna be weird if you're a single adult woman.
Okay, now we are getting into the meat of all of this. This is compulsory heterosexuality. It's this idea that, like, well, no, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing this? It's weird that you're not doing this. And her response is essentially like, you hired me to play the organ, so shut it.
Yeah.
And I love how, like, assertive she is.
Let's keep it strictly professional, father.
But there is going to be a lot of this, like, well, you're supposed to do this. Why aren't you doing this? You're weird for, and then like every time she tries.
Yeah, because like right now she's very distant. She's deliberately putting distance between everybody around her. But eventually, a little further on down the road, with the worst character in the movie, she's going to be like, well, maybe I should be shacking up with this total pervert.
And he is the worst character in the movie. He fucking sucks. He might be the worst character in any movie. But he's the only one who's expressing interest. So obviously, if she was interested in men, she could go out and meet men. But he's the only one who's sort of like, he is presenting himself to her. He's just there. So she's kind of like, well, I mean, here, this is easy. He's here, I guess. Why not? Yeah. And every time she tries, it's like, oh, no.
So she sits down on the bench and begins to play a nice churchly piece. And it brings a big old smile to the priest's face. Everybody who can hear her is just so pleased. They have an organist capable of stirring the soul. And now the ghastly man from out on the road enters the church as she plays. She has no idea. Later on, when she's finished, Mary is transfixed by a stained glass window rendering of Jesus casting out the demons from the book of Luke. Priest comes in and tells her that he's got some business out by the lake and would she like to come along?
Oh, it sounds like the worst afternoon.
they
a drive into the country with a stranger? Sure.
He's a priest. He's a kindly old man.
He's a boring old man.
Yeah, he is. But so is she.
I don't know. She's feisty.
They can stop and have a look at that old pavilion if she likes. So they drive out right up to the fence, which keeps out the trespassers. They get out for a better look. It's an elaborate building out on a bleak, dry lake bed. She wants to go in and walk around inside, but he won't take her in. Wouldn't be very seemly for a minister to break the law now, would it?
Boo.
Come on, father. Live a little.
Jesus. Literally.
Later on at the boarding house, she tells Mrs. Thompson about going out to the pavilion, and then she announces that she's going to take a bath. And once again, Mrs. Thomas tells her to bathe to her heart's content.
And while she's bathing, she's like, hey, I bet you're hungry. Why don't I make you some coffee and cheese sandwiches?
I love that shit. So Mary, free as a bird, free to bathe as she sees fit, takes a bath. Luxuriating in the tub while a real shitty dude hovers outside her door.
He sucks.
Big time. He knocks, and thinking that it's Mrs. Thomas, she tells him to come right in. But the door is locked, so she throws on a towel and runs to unlock the door. Only it's not Mrs. Thomas. It's the neighbor, Mr. Linden, who takes no time to barge in and introduce himself.
Yeah, he literally pushes his way in, like, past her. And she clearly is like, oh my God, you're not who I thought. Please get out. And he's like, nah, I'm already here.
Yeah, she sees him and tries to push the door shut. He's like, no, thank you. And like squeezes through.
Oh, he sucks.
Yeah. She eventually gets him to back the fuck out while she throws on a robe and he watches her change through the crack in the door. And when she comes back, he asks her if she'd like to have dinner with him. And she's like, no, I don't like doing things with other people.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I just had coffee and cheese sandwiches like a normal person.
She hasn't had the sandwiches yet because I got notes on that shit. Woo! But he's such a shit that he won't take no for an answer and presses the issue until she literally pushes him out the door and bids him good night. Now,
read the room, bitch.
Oh no, that guy. This is how he gets the ladies. Is you gotta listen. You gotta be on them. You gotta harass them until their defenses wear thin.
Blacklight runes.
Remembering that Mrs. Thomas was prepping some coffee and a sandwich for her, she steps out into the hall but stops cold in her tracks. The ghoulish man is standing at the bottom of the steps, looking up at her.
Well, no. What she's about to do is she is about to go to his door. She's rethinking his invitation.
Oh, okay.
It's the first moment where she's like, I mean, am I going to be alone? What do I do? Should I just give it a go? And then as soon as she does, it's like, blam, ghost guy.
Oh, so you think he's the bad guy, but he's the one who saved her from a really bad night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because odds are pretty high that Mr. Linden probably would have physically forced himself on top of her.
Full rapist. Yeah, 100%.
It's a full-on rapist. So then she runs back into her room and locks the door as his footsteps approach. Now the door opens, but it's just Mrs. Thomas with a tray of coffee and a sandwich. And she's like, you look jumpy. So here's a huge carafe of coffee. That ought to calm your nerves.
Drink the whole thing.
Mary wants to know who the man was, and Mrs. Thomas thinks she's talking about Lyndon, but gets annoyed when Mary keeps pressing her about this ghostly fella she found lurking at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah, and Mrs. Thomas is like turning on her.
Yeah, boy, these
Come on,
old...
girl, you're all she has. Don't do that.
Boy, the thing I forgot to mention is when Mary first shows up, like Mrs. Thomas kind of sucks. She's like, I could have rented this place yesterday. And she's like, well, fuck yeah, I'm here now.
She's probably like, well, why didn't you then?
Yeah, right? So,
like everybody acts like they're doing her some fucking favor. And they get upset because Mary's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You should have.
Yeah.
I could have found somewhere else, you know?
Right. You know, I've certainly been in situations like that where, like, I am not in the sort of state of mind to be outgoing. I just want to be quiet, but I'm stuck in a situation with a person who wants to fucking talk. And if I don't reciprocate, they get annoyed, and then I get annoyed. So I feel this shit, man.
I'm very, very bad at all of this. And people are like, so what do you do? And I'm like, stuff.
And then they'll walk away and they'll be like, boy, he is an asshole, huh?
Yeah.
But anyways, Mrs. Thompson is like, boy, these old houses, they're big enough that you could hide a man in every corner.
You're not helping, Mrs. Thomas. You're not helping right now.
Not terribly reassuring. Mrs. Thomas opens the door to the hall and has a look around, assuring Mary that there's no one out there, and then she fucks off. And she says,
I have a note that literally says, it's like, no wonder that Mary doesn't socialize much. Everybody is an asshole.
So, yeah, and then she says, don't drink that coffee if it keeps you awake. And Mary tells her that coffee never keeps her awake. Cut to Mary wide awake in bed in the middle of the night. A storm approaches outside.
It's like the Heffalumps and Woozles thing from Winnie the Pooh.
She steps to the window and looks out, imagining the pavilion. And in the morning, she's awoken not by her alarm, but by that asshole, Mr. Lyndon, knocking on her door with another gigantic thing of coffee.
He's like, hey, I heard you love coffee. Get out of the way. I'm coming in.
Once again, he prances into her room and offers her some coffee and friendly conversation.
He's like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. You want to get trashed or what?
Oh, boy. She throws
always a good sign.
She throws some big 50-cent words at her, and he's like, hey, doll, I ain't privy to such big words.
Yeah, my note says, the chip on his shoulder is showing.
I'm just a jabroni who works in a warehouse. Say, how'd you like a little pep in your step with this here whiskey in your Joe?
He really is. He's like, he just keeps being like, I'm just a normal guy. I'm just like everybody else, just an innocent man. You know, I'm just like a normal guy. Oh, I could have gone to college. And it's just like, dude, you're really not selling yourself right now. You're like, what do you think? I'm an alcoholic? I'm just a normal guy who works at the fucking box factory.
And I gotta drink a whole little whiskey here at 8 a.m. Mary politely declines, and they start talking about playing organ in a church. But she's like, hey, it's just a fucking job. What's weird about that? I have absolutely zero interest in the Lord. I just want to hit those keys and pick up a check.
Yeah, she's like, oh, God? Yuck. The church organ, though. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then he says, doesn't that give you nightmares? And I think the implication here in that question is, doesn't sort of like not being religious or caving to the demands of Christianity give you nightmares? Like, does being atheistic make you uncomfortable or afraid or whatever? And it's like, no, it's the opposite.
Yeah, because like there's nothing about him that says like he's religious. It's just kind of like,
it's that normality thing again, where it's like, what do you mean you don't believe? You have to believe in something. You have to believe in God, a white Christian God. How could you not? Aren't you afraid?
Yeah.
And she's just kind of like, nope.
Also, it must have been fucking tough as nails finding a Catholic church in fucking Salt Lake City.
Is that a Catholic church?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Mormons are Catholics. That's what they think.
Yeah, boy. Great dancers. Do you know this?
Mormons?
Mormons, very well known for dancing.
I know that they're obsessed with genealogy.
Also dancing. They're very good dancers. There's like world-class dance studios out there because Mormons are well known for being very good dancers.
Also well known for not masturbating. Yeah, right. Also for not drinking alcohol.
Yep.
Looking at pornography.
Lots and lots of wives.
Child brides.
Yeah. What was it? The statistic that I saw was 50% of all murders committed in the state of Utah are domestic abuse related.
No, that can't be right. Of course it's right.
Fucking crazy shit.
No, religion's great.
Yep.
It's working out really well for everybody.
And they have a much higher incidence of family annihilations than anywhere else in this country.
And they have big families. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, kill a lot of people if you're going to fucking commit to that kind of thing. Yeah. Lyndon, meanwhile, keeps trying to slip some whiskey in her coffee, tell her about how he's smart too. He just couldn't hack college.
Yeah, he's like, I could have gone to college. They would have made me go to classes.
Yeah.
What?
You know, I couldn't track those, what do you call them? Principal products. And she's like, what are you talking about?
She's like, dude, I woke up 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then he pours some more whiskey in his coffee and she goes, what's the matter? Can you still taste the coffee?
Sassy. She's
Telling
got
you.
sass.
It's a lady after my heart.
Yep. But he says, hey, I couldn't act college. Only thing I cared about was girls, huh? If they had a class about that, I'd have aced it.
Now, I realize I don't want to generalize too much here. This is a very extreme example of a man in 1962, but not so extreme that he, I think, does not represent the norm.
Sure.
Why would any person, say you're interested in a lady, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go talk to her. I'm going to go over and be like, hey, bitches fucking love me. I work at the fucking box factory. You want a drink? It's 8:30 in the morning. And then be like, what's this bitch's problem? She's not interested in me.
Yeah.
What?
I know. So Lyndon gets a little drunk and then she issues some seriously cutting remarks. He says, hey, I like to start the day in a good mood. And she says, you ought to be hilarious by noon.
Yeah, it's good. It's good writing. It's a good singer.
It's
like a little vaudevillian, but she's really kind of taking him down a peg. Now, to Mary's credit, she has been very polite up until this point. And it's like, again, my man, read the room. She's not interested in you for a bunch of reasons.
Now, in his mind, he's like, she's not interested in me yet.
Yeah, I could turn you.
Yeah.
I just got to put a foot down on the gas a little bit. Give her the real Lehman experience.
So he gets offended, but they end the scene on a pretty friendly note. He has to get to work. And as for her, well, let's just say women be shopping.
That's right. What do women love doing? Women love shopping.
Mary finds a lovely dress at a department store and goes back to her dressing room to change out of it and fork over the cash. There's a weird shimmery effect on the screen, and then the store goes silent. She dresses again and leaves the dressing room, finding the store full of people, but completely silent.
And then she touches her face in a way that I could only describe as Aunt Martha-esque.
Okay, yeah.
No, that won't do it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that the scene would have been better served without the waviness. I'm sure somebody was probably like, well, you got to let them know that something weird is about to happen. And it's like, no, you got to just launch them into the weird thing.
Yeah, I read that there was, but I've never seen a version of this that had it, but that the original like prints that went out, they tinted the scenes when it goes silent as kind of blue as like a visual cue that everything's wrong. But the Criterion, to my knowledge, doesn't have it unless it was very subtle.
I think they should have just launched right into it.
I don't know. I think you kind of need something because if she came out,
yeah, because they don't do it enough.
It's not immediately obvious. Otherwise, they'd have to fucking hit you over the head with like something weird's happening. And in a sense, with that kind of that wavy effect, it is them kind of bonking you over the head with. So yeah, everybody ignores her. It's like they can't even see her. Stands right in front of the associate who was fitting her in the dress just moments ago, and the lady just fucking wanders off.
This lady is a real local hire, if you know what I mean.
Why, she's the third wife in a family of 7 wives.
That's right. And they're
Stands,
all going to be dead by the end of the year.
stands,
Statistically speaking.
she stands to the right of the associate who was fitting her in the dress. The lady just wanders off. Not a single person acknowledges her. She leaves the store and walks along the streets of the city, which should be noisy as hell. There's dudes chopping up the street with a jackhammer, but we don't hear anything. Some distance away, in a park, the sound comes back to her, and she's approached at the bubbler by a dude.
It is. It's a bubbler.
It's a bubbler. You might call it a fountain, a drinking fountain. We call it a bubbler.
Well, I don't.
Neither do I, but I just thought it was regionally appropriate. Bubbler.
Yes.
Go have a drink from the bubbler.
No.
She looks up and backs away in shock. You'd think it's the ghoulish dude creeping up on her shit, but it's not. It's just some guy.
No, it's just a ghoulish dude.
a guy with zero awareness of personal space.
Yeah, just a real slack-jawed yokel is what he is.
Oh, man. Because he looks at her and he's like, I did not mean to frighten her. I was just coming to get a drink. But he is just like flat face expression.
Yeah, it's very hard to describe what he is, but it's just like, what if a person was nothing? It's that.
Mary backs away into the arms of a passerby, and the guy at the fountain apologizes. She'll have none of it, though. She thinks it's the spooky dude who's been following her around. She struggles against the iron grip of this guy that he just is holding onto her arms.
He needs to let go of her.
He tries to calm her, explaining that he's a doctor and that she can come and chill with him.
He's like, yeah, I'm Dr. Samuels. My office is right across the street. Let's go there and cure you of your lesbianism and misanthropy.
She explains herself in the office of Dr. Samuels, explaining that it was like she didn't exist.
And then he has his back to her.
Oh, I love it, because then he does kind of explain to her why he did that. But yes, that's just a setup for later on.
Right.
Yeah. She said it was like she didn't exist, like she didn't have a place in the world. Dr. Samuels is kind and understanding and tries to explain to her that this is just the trauma of her brush with death. Her imagination is just playing tricks on us. It happens to all of us. Why, does this phantom man resemble someone you know back home? A friend or your father? Perhaps a boyfriend? And
I'm sorry, what? No, of course not. I don't have one of those, and I have no desire for one.
Her actual words.
That
was the moment. That was the moment when I was like, oh, okay, I see why we're doing this movie now.
Right. Because, again, if we're looking at this through the lens of compulsory heterosexuality, this is like her not wanting a relationship because all she knows of relationships is that women are in relationships with men. And anything else is unfathomable. So the idea that she would have a relationship, it's just, she's at a point where it's like, I can't do that. She hasn't gotten to the part where it's like, what about other stuff or no stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
But she can't get there because in 1962, there is not an option for anybody.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's just like, no. And I'm also, that sounds terrible if I'm being honest.
In some ways, like we're treating this as a sort of like a story of like repressed lesbianism. There's a case for asexuality in this one.
I think there's a case for queerness.
Yeah.
For sort of
broadly speaking.
Yeah. For like a sort of non-specific, like, maybe that, maybe this, but definitely not that.
Yeah.
And that is the dominant mode. And that's really what it is. This idea that she's just like, I don't want to be with men. But from my perspective watching it, it's like, because she cannot envision a world of anything other than this heteronormativity, she's just kind of like, then everything sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because eventually it does start to permeate your whole world where you're just like, then all of this sucks. Like, I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want any of this. Fuck every single one of you. I'm just going to go be alone. And she can't even be alone because she's got this fucking lech pushing his way into her room every night.
That, and she's got to be a professional organist. Fucking capitalism got her nailed down too.
Into the church.
Fuck.
She's every angle.
It's got layers.
Yeah.
So he asks her if she'd like to have relationships with others, and she suddenly falters. She doesn't know. She doesn't know if she's even capable. Dr. Samuels then makes a very peculiar announcement. I'm not a psychiatrist, which leads me to wonder then, what kind of doctor is he?
He's probably a psychologist.
Okay, because I wondered, is he a podiatrist? A doctor of paleontology?
Is he a herpetologist?
Perhaps a doctor of rock or funk?
Well, there's only one doctor of funk. But he is trying to pathologize. Like, to her, she's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just not big into people, you know? Like, sometimes I'd rather just play the organ by myself.
With no passion, no soul. I simply play it and I get paid.
But like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, when you start to, when you're depressed, like clinically depressed.
Oh, sure. You get
and your depression starts to spiral until everything, it's anhedonia. Is what
anhedonia.
It's like when nothing is pleasurable. It's like when you just start, when your world starts to crumble. And in my sort of view of this, like, she's gotten to the point where she's like, I don't want to date men. I don't want relationships with men. But she can't see anything else. It's just sort of like everything starts to sort of fall apart a little bit. And she's getting no joy out of anything. Presumably, one does not go into music to make money. And I'm sure that was true in 1962 as well. Like, you're not going to make money being a church organist.
Sure.
Not that she's like out to make a ton of money. So it is an odd choice to be like, she doesn't love anything. It's like, if anything, she should really only love playing music. Yeah. That would have made a lot more sense. And to then sort of reject the Christian part of it.
Yeah.
You could have done the same thing. I think they're angling for, oh no, she's dead. That's why she doesn't enjoy anything. It's like, I don't know. You're going to violate that left and right. So
sure. Again, it's a deficiency of writing. This is a generally well written movie, but there are moments when it doesn't really work, because the way that I read the fact that she is so joyless about music, this thing that she does professionally, is that she's not just dead inside, she's dead, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
But it is an odd choice to be like, well, you could have just gone to work at like a dress shop or some shit.
Yeah, you love shopping.
Well, all ladies love shopping. The known stated fact.
Yeah. So she's going to put a stop to all this imaginary nonsense. She can put a stop to it, and to do it, she's going to go out to the pavilion for some goddamn reason.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Mary. You can go out there alone. You don't need a man to go with you.
Then she stands up and heads out to the pavilion alone.
And again, this is where I was like, is there any reason the pavilion is in this movie other than it looks cool?
Nope, that's it. Nope. And Mary sees herself through the various buildings, a spooky funhouse, an absolutely terrifying steel slide that absolutely claimed the lives of at least 5 children.
And then one of the mattresses comes flying down the slide.
Yeah.
And like at that point, I would have to leave.
Get the fuck
Who
out of
sent the mattress down, Mary? It didn't fall down on its own.
Why did I have the bowl, Bart? If I didn't have a fish, why did I have the bowl? This slide is like a flat version of that cop destroying slide in Boston.
So good.
So Mary reaches the dance hall, which is fenced off. She lets herself in and has a look around. It still bears the decorations and ribbons from an event in some distant past. She walks down to the railing where the water used to be. Some of the lake remains, but most of it is dried up.
Have you ever heard, there was an episode of This American Life, I think it's called The House at Loon Lake.
No, I don't think so.
It's one of the rare ones where they dedicate the entire episode to a single story.
Oh, shit, all right.
And it's about this guy, when he was a kid, he and his friends, it's somewhere in New Hampshire, I think it's northern New Hampshire, they find an old, like, it's like a grocery store attached to a house. They're both abandoned. And really, the entire episode is what is it about this abandoned place, or abandoned places in general, that make us so uncomfortable? And that's what I was thinking when I'm watching this scene in here, because it's like the streamers, everything about it is so, it's a little uncanny valley.
Yeah, you know what it is I think that it is in the same way that our eyes and our brains it's called that effect pareidolia, where we see things that aren't really there. There's our brain trying to sort of find patterns.
It's filling in gaps.
In the chaos. I think that there is a sort of an unconscious thing that we also do when we enter a place that gives us enough information to tell a story, but not enough to tell the whole story. And so we start to just try to fill in these blanks with incomplete information. And that incompleteness is inherently disturbing.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
You know, in a way that like we start to tell ourselves stories about places, which is how a lot of like urban legends begin about like, you know, about like the haunted house in town. Like nothing fucking important ever happened there, but just
the God in the sky.
Sure. You know, people, but so many people have been upset by this location over the years that they've just told stories that compound over the years. And thus, you know, a fucking legend lives where there wasn't really one before.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Some of the lake remains, but most of it is dried up. The ghoulish man lies in a pool just under the pavilion. And when Mary returns to the boarding house, Lyndon is there to bug her again.
Ugh.
He's
like, hey, what are you, afraid of men? Now, it's a euphemism, the way he's using it. He's essentially calling her a lesbian. But also, she has a million reasons to be afraid of men, especially
particularly this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He asks her to go out to dinner with him, and she turns him down at first, having to go play at the church. And he's like, hey, babe, why you such a frigid bitch?
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, all right, I'll give heterosexuality the old college try, I guess.
She agrees to meet up for a date after work. Lyndon, my boy, you sure do know how to talk to a lady.
Oh, he sucks.
So Mary goes to church, plays in the empty sanctuary.
Meanwhile, the muses have taken her.
Whoa. She stops, looks at her hands with a haunted expression, and then begins to play again. This time the music is discordant and sinister. It's like she's in a daze, playing automatically. She has visions of the pavilion. The ghoulish man rises from the water outside of the dance hall. Other ghouls do
what's
as
that?
well.
She's haunted by, what's that? Visions of men and women dancing together?
Oh.
I want to say the shot of them coming out of the water is
scary
really cool.
as fuck. I love that shit. Particularly
because he looks very menacing.
He does too, but not just that. There's the woman who comes out of the water, and she's looking straight down the fucking barrel with this kind of like half smile.
Now, what would have probably been more appropriate for storytelling is to have the people coming out of the water be the people who died in the car.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just ghouls coming out of the water, but they look really fucking cool. And I think he is particularly effective.
Yeah. Yeah. His makeup is so goddamn good. Like, it's one of the sort of like enduring images of this movie, and for a really good reason. Yeah. The dance hall is suddenly filled with spooky motherfuckers, all dancing in 2x speed, just spinning on the dance floor. The dancing slows, and the lone ghoulish man steps out of the crowd and toward us, his hands outstretched. His hands press hers to the keys, but when the camera pulls back, it's the priest doing it. He can't believe she'd play this rad, spooky music in such a place of worship.
Yeah, I don't get this part. He's like, it's sacrilege. It's like, it's still an organ
I was like, it's organ music, man. It was a little discordant, but it's not like she was in there playing fucking Slayer.
Yeah, like that, like, but that's the way he treats it. That she's playing Darling Nikki on the fucking church organ, and he's like, I'm sorry, get out.
Yeah, she's in there playing In the Garden of Eden.
By Iron Butterfly.
Yeah. How dare you? Have you no soul, woman, is what he actually says.
Well, these people are so fucking mean to her.
You need to take that diabolical organ music and get the fuck out of here.
Now, this is another person who is essentially rejecting her for not meeting the sort of expectations of normality, those sort of social norms. And
this one in particular is such an esoteric dig at her because, like, he just didn't like the scary ass music she was possessed to play.
And then as she's leaving, he goes, that does not mean that I'm abandoning you, nor should you turn your back on the church. And I was like, hey, man, that's exactly what it means. You literally just told her she has no soul.
Yeah, he'll still minister to her. You know, but like, you can't come in here playing that.
Being a lesbian, playing haunting church music.
Playing that rock and or roll. So Mary stumbles out of the church and meets Lyndon, who takes her to a bar where people cut a rug. People except for, that is, Mary and Lyndon.
Oh.
Lyndon is bored, facing away. He's like, hey, doll, what's up your skirt? You don't like dancing? You don't like drinking?
Just lost her job. She's not in the mood for his bullshit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why she wouldn't be into him. An alcoholic and a lech? What a catch. What a catch.
Yeah, me? I love drinking, and if you're not going to imbibe that fancy beer I bought you, why, I'll have to polish it off myself.
Yeah, he's like, I paid good money for that. It's like, bitch, you did not. That is 25 cents. That is fucking garbage that you're drinking.
It's,
I promise you, that's the worst thing.
It's Patrick Bateman in fucking American Psycho. He's like, I'm not trying to get you drunk, but that's a very, very expensive Chardonnay you're not drinking. He gets up to put some music on the jukebox and runs into his creep friends, who's like, hey, Johnny, if you're not going to land that plane, why don't I take a run at her?
No, what he says is, that's not the kind of pig you usually drag around.
I know.
Oh my God. Who is this other scumbag?
I know. And then he's like, listen here, fella, I got something on the stove, so why don't you shove off, eh?
Oh, it's so awful. Men are such fucking babies.
Lyndon laments that this old date sucks and Mary apologizes. It's fine, really. I do want to be with you for reasons no one in the audience will ever understand.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I don't get you. I've been harassing you for weeks, relentlessly haranguing you until you agree to go out with me.
Just chipping away at this frigid exterior of yours.
And then you act like you never wanted to be here in the first place.
And Lyndon is fine with cutting this whole ordeal now, and she continues to send him mixed messages. Messages so mixed that he's like, hey, babe, why don't we get out of here and see if we can't make magic happen back at the boarding house?
Because she really is. 1 minute, she's just like, what? She's fucking Daria. And then the next minute, she's like, no, I'm super into you. I want to do sex with you.
So they leave, and he's pretty sure that he's about to get some action, but once again, Mary gives him the slip. He tries to reel her in, tries to put the moves on her again and again and again.
He's getting real rapey, though, because it's like, okay, she is clearly not interested. He's just like fucking handsy McGillicuddy.
Going in for a kiss, the camera turns, and it's not Lyndon. It's the ghoulish dude.
And hey, look. I find Herk Harvey kind of attractive in this movie. I'm not going to lie. I think it's the hair and the makeup.
It's his cool demeanor.
Yeah, it's this sort of joie de vivre.
Cut away, we find Lyndon himself halfway across the room. Like, look, doll, I can't be getting mixed up with no crazy broads. You're a few sandwiches shy of picnic is what you are. And he sees himself out.
Yeah, it's an interesting observation that they would make about sort of, I mean, I guess they're like, this is just this one specific guy, but it's sort of like, not really. It's kind of all the guys in this movie, but
yeah, we don't have a whole lot of experience with guys in this. There's the priest who's kind of nice, but then he rejects her. There's the doctor who's also kind and understanding, but he's also clinical and distant. And then there's fucking Lyndon, who's just like playing like fucking Tune Into Tokyo every chance he gets.
Well, and they're all trying to tell her there's something wrong with her because she does not want what they're selling.
Yeah.
It's a little gaslighty. And she's like, all right, I guess I'll give normality a try. But it's so thoroughly repugnant that she just cannot bring herself to play along with it.
Yeah.
But he also has zero consideration for her at all. Like he pays no attention to her body language or the actual words coming out of her mouth. And when she doesn't give him like an approving or favorable response, he just lashes out at her. He's a real Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. In the morning, Dr. Samuels, a man whose profession is still a total mystery to us, leaves Mary's room and tries to explain what he's even doing here. Apparently, he dropped in of his own accord, and Mrs. Thomas tells him that crazy lady's been shifting furniture around all night. Boy.
All right, Mrs. Thomas, fucking calm down.
Boy, she's gotta go.
Now, see, Mary's having an existential crisis because she doesn't want to be left alone in the world.
Yeah.
But this life of sort of heteronormativity feels like a death sentence for her. And so she's like, I can't envision my life one way or another. It's like dudes or death.
Yeah.
Which is a t-shirt I'm going to have made. Just as dudes or death.
Check the merch. Check the merch links for that.
Give me a minute. I'll get there.
Good thing that's Mary's plan as well. She packs up her meager belongings and splits the boarding house.
This is when we learn this is all taking place in a day. I was like, 1 day?
Is it 1 day?
Yes. She's like, she just moved in yesterday or something. And she's like, what has she been up to? Oh, only the devil knows. I'm like, well, she might know too. Did you ask her? And then Mrs. Thompson goes in and to like, I don't know, say something to her. She just ignores her and walks out.
Yeah. Mrs. Thomas tries to
fuck
talk.
These hoes.
Tries to talk to her, but Mary is looking like a zombie. She just walks on by and gets in her car. Now, the car isn't sounding too good, so Mary drives it into a garage where a mechanic has her put her up on the lift. What's more, the dude lets her stay in the car as he lifts it up. What
That
fun!
seems like a liability.
I know. Stuck in the car, Mary sees a shadowy figure enter the garage. It's him. He goes over to the hydraulic controls and lets the car down, and then Mary tumbles out of the car and flees the garage. She runs down the streets of Salt Lake City, coming to the bus station. She enters, and the shimmery effect happens again. The bus station goes silent, and no one appears to see her. She tries to buy a bus ticket for back east, but it's like she's not even there. Silence is broken by an announcement that a bus is heading east and is loading now, so she runs out to the platform and boards it. The passengers are all ghoulish and ghostly. They laugh.
And the makeup on these people on the bus is so silly, but we've looped back around and it's become scary again.
Yeah. They laugh and get up, approaching her. So she runs back to the street and finds a train station. She tries to board a train on time, but is too late. They close the gate before she can make it. No one will help her. She's all alone in the streets. And so Mary ends up in the park again, where the sounds of the city return. That seems significant, but I can't figure out why. Because both times she ends up in the same park where things go normal again.
I think it's just a way of corralling her towards the doctor's office.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because she is right near Dr. Samuel's office.
Because we would need to know she's in the park. That's why she can go to Dr. Samuel's office.
Yeah. So she goes up and tells him all about her fears, about what happened. The doctor turns in the chair again, because like in the first scene, he's got his back to her, but he's taking notes, he says. This time...
It's Dr. Zayas.
The doctor turns in his chair toward her. It's not Dr. Samuels. It's the ghastly apparition dude. Mary screams and wakes up back in the front seat of her car. That is, again, I was going to say, it's a little dreamy in that way that like she's in the park and then all of a sudden she's not in the park anymore. She's in the office, but you know, so it's that way that you just sort of find yourself in places in your dreams. So she's back in the car. Backs it out of the garage and just drives away.
She appears to leave without paying.
The mechanic watches her go as if to say, there goes the craziest lady I ever did see. Drives out to the bleak, windswept pavilion and walks among the empty grave-like midway right up to the dance hall.
That's right. She's choosing death over heterosexuality. I get it.
The ghouls all emerge once again from the water. The hall lights up. The ghouls dance to some of the spookiest goddamn organ music I've ever heard.
Okay, now this is where, so I'm watching it in this 4K Criterion version, and they're whirling and twirling around, and it's like, they should have really limited the close-ups on the dead people, because what starts off as sort of unnerving and creepy eventually starts to feel a little bit like a Bauhaus video, and you're like, okay, maybe back up a little or something, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the video for She's in Parties. So, Mary watches, noticing that she is now among those ghouls, dancing with the spooky dude who's been pursuing her this whole time.
Except she's not dancing with him. This is the weird thing. He's dancing with somebody else, but they're making it look like she's dancing with him.
Okay, so
they're whirling and twirling.
Thoughts on that is because she's in the same shot as the girl who's supposed to who looks like her. I think it's supposed to be like a reasonable body double that we're supposed to think it's her. Because
I kept looking at her and I was just like, but that's not the same person.
No, but there are close-ups of her like spinning and spinning twirling and twirling toward freedom with him in his
Abortions for some, little miniature American flags for others.
But you see her because she's got the ghoul makeup on now too when it's in close up.
Yeah, I was very confused. This is another one of those like, well, sometimes 4K isn't for the best.
Yeah. He smiles all sinister, and then they spin faster and faster. When they stop right in front, ghostly Mary has a huge sinister smile of her own. Regular Mary screams and runs from the dance hall, pursued by the ghost people. She hides under the boardwalk, but they follow her. They're always right behind her. There's nowhere to hide. She runs and runs until they chase her out to the salt flat and fall.
That's right.
On her.
That's your homosexuality, Mary.
Catching up with you, descending upon you, smothering you.
You can't ignore it anymore.
In the day, Dr. Samuels, the priest, and some cops follow her footsteps out to where she fell. There are footprints which lead out to the sand, but none going back. It's like she disappeared right there in the sand. Everyone looks super...
That was Jesus carrying her.
This set of footprints right next to her. Everyone looks super disturbed and cast a haunted look at the pavilion in the distance. Cut to the bridge where a salvage crew dragged the car out of the river with a tow truck. They look in, finding the dead bodies of all three women. The end.
Solid. It's a movie that it doesn't make a lot of sense. It operates fully on vibes.
The ending is predictable as hell. Sometimes a movie that's pure vibes can work, and this is one of them.
Yeah. So the thing about, have you ever seen or read Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge?
Yeah, I've seen it when they did it on Twilight.
It's the last episode of Twilight Zone. It's not actually an episode of Twilight Zone. It's a short movie, but
it's actually not the final episode.
I thought it was.
I don't know. It's like right in the middle of the season. It's in the middle of the final season.
It was a short film, but if you've never seen it, listener, it essentially, you watch this guy. He gets, it's an Ambrose Bierce story. He gets picked up sort of by the, I think, Confederate Army or Confederate Army.
Yeah, the way the story goes is he's caught.
He's a saboteur.
He's a saboteur on a bridge, and they're going to execute him for this crime. So they're going to hang him on the bridge.
Yeah, and you end up watching essentially what is him living his entire life in the amount of time it takes for him to drop from the bridge to when his neck breaks. And so you can see what they're trying. He's trying to kind of replicate that in this, except that it makes a lot of sense in the Bierce story. It doesn't here.
Yeah, because the Bierce story is they drop him on the rope, but the rope breaks and he falls into the river and he swims down. It's a big escape thing. Then he goes all the way home and he sees his family come out of their house to see him. And as he's about to hug the woman, he goes like stiff, and we cut back to him actually fucking dying.
Right.
On the
It's
rope.
like he's living the rest of his life in this moment, and then before he dies.
Yeah, it's a death dream.
It's cool. It's a cool thing.
It is cool.
Here, it doesn't make a lot of sense, though. But I think I can understand why this probably did not really. First of all, it was pitched and sold as a drive-in movie. Nobody's going to pay any attention to it. It's really a visually interesting movie. The story's not that good. It's a little silly. It's very, very familiar. But it's still different from most of what was happening, in horror movies at the time. It's pretty interesting. And I think in terms of its queerness, it's a very abstract thing. But I would imagine if I was, a queer person or a lesbian or asexual person at the time, even around after that, who saw this, they probably saw a lot of themselves in Mary, who is this person who is just sort of repulsed by men. And she can't put that repulsion into words. She doesn't even have a lot of clarity around it, but it's still this representation of like people who don't fit into the way the world is sort of, quote, supposed to work. And I think that alone makes it a kind of remarkable movie.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it just...
Oh, no, it just worked out that way in a really weird way. Because it's about, ultimately, it's about alienation. Yeah. But you could suit that alienation to a number of specific
causes. There's a lot of reasons why people feel alienated or become alienated. And I think once you factor in the sort of patriarchal parts of this, in the kind of aggressive masculinity of this, then it starts to sort of take a more feminist shape, or a kind of queer shape. And I think it is for people who don't fit neatly into any of these categories. I still think it sort of carries that feeling of otherness in that same way, where it doesn't require you to identify as any one particular thing. You could still just sort of be like, hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Like I'm a pretty misanthropic person a lot of the time. I don't really like people that much. Well, that's not true. I like a lot of people, but I don't like to be around people a lot. And so like I watch this and be like, hey, I'd fucking totally get Mary. And then, every time she tries, people are like, oh, good, I'll prey on you. And you're like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, Carnival of Souls, fantastic fucking movie, no matter which way you slice it. I think it's great. And that Criterion release is really, really fucking good. There's some great supplemental material on there as well.
It's an old one. It's a real early
63.
It's like I think I think it's an old Criterion release.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is spine number 63.
Spine number 63. Yeah, it's around like the same time when they put out like Equinox and shit.
Yeah.
They were like, say, what's in the public domain that's supposed to be really good?
Yeah, right. Right. But yeah, great movie. Strongly recommend it. Go on out there, watch it. Check it out through the lens of Pride. But that is going to bring Pride 2026 to a close for us.
Yeah. There's a closing remark for you. We talk about horror movies, we talk about cult films, action films, all that goofiness. There's lots of different reasons why people find sort of themselves in movies. Like, don't just stick to the popular shit that's on Shudder and all those other places. Look around, read some books, read some fucking articles. There's tons of cool shit out there. Watch some of these.
Spread your wings. Check out some shit that's off the beaten path, things that you might not otherwise. Which I think is kind of like kind of our bread and butter is the stuff that resonates more closely with us than I think the kind of the modern horror movie diet.
Yeah, that shit's fine. It's fun.
It's good,
great, but sometimes you gotta dig a little deeper.
Yeah, you find some treasure out there. So with that in the bag, where we up to next?
Oh, speaking of treasure, next week on 99-Cent Rental, we're going to be watching Dirty Dancing.
We're going to be putting Dave in the corner.
Look, I think I have said this before. My first crush was Patrick Swayze.
Understandable.
And I will talk more about that and give you a hilarious anecdote.
Awesome.
And then in 2 weeks, speaking of hilarious, we're coming back. Bring me the axe with the zaniest horror movie to ever come out of Italy. The Visitor.
Oh,
and
guys.
You're thinking, how can that be? I've seen so many zany horror movies from Italy. Oh, not like this, you haven't.
This is one of the most confusing movies I think I've ever seen. It's, hey, that Star Wars movie is pretty popular. And you know what else is popular? The Exorcist and The Omen.
What about The Omen? What if we just put them all together?
Made a movie out of all of those. And we've got a bunch of American stars who were just like,
sure, why not?
Yeah, I get to go on vacation in Rome. Cool.
Also, one of my favorite film scores.
It's good.
Franco Michelisi.
It's good. It's good. So we'll see you next week with Dirty Dancing, and then we'll be back in 2 with the inexplicable charm of The Visitor.